Hey bros, welcome to Spatula Bros, the podcast. I'm here with Darko. Hello, Darko. Hello.
Today,
We have a lot of topics to cover, right? We're going to talk about One Piece, Boruto, and lots of other news from the week. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, of course. Let's remind everyone that this podcast is sponsored by Holy. There you go, new range of syrup with pods that you put in the box, well, in the bottle, and that get things going. Afterwards, when you drink, there are different flavors. I have the peach flavor, and it gives me energy. It's really hot right now, so it helps you stay hydrated. The link is in the description with the promo code OTAQ to get 10% off, so don't hesitate to use this promo code OTAQ to support the channel. Also, Spattle Shop, of course, you should support them, the channel, Spattle Shop, and especially the publishing house, Spattle Edition. There, you'll find Spatule Jump, you'll find Isekai RA, you'll find goodies, you'll find cards, t-shirts, actually hoodies and so on. The link is in the description if you want to check out our creations, with many more creations coming soon. Yes. Sorry for burping too many olives. So, yes. And don't forget to post to boost. Yes. If you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to boost this podcast, this clip. It makes us happy. Should we start with the Twitter drama or something else?
well, buddy,
All right. Okay, I'll quickly sum up what happened. I did a pretty harsh, pretty angry review of the latest One Piece chapter, because right now we're up to here, you know. And so I got roasted on Twitter. Well, they tried to roast us on Twitter. And actually, they got some backlash from our... That's what's funny. So there's a big debate. And now we wanted to do a podcast to ask, can we criticize One Piece in 2026? There you go.
complicated. What did you say? So they also took a clip from the podcast we did last week.
Yeah.
We're getting destroyed. People are mean.
I don't think so. I believe people are just having fun with us.
I'm not sure people are mean since it happens immediately. That's what I'll explain. About the insults, the physical criticism, I'm like, but we're talking about a manga, bro. Like, really, do you need to talk about looks? Do you need to insult, to spread negativity, to wish bad things on people? I think it's pretty crazy, but I don't lump everyone together. But that's what I've seen from part of the One Piece community for a while now.
And part of it, no generalizations.
I'm not saying everyone.
A part of the One Piece community.
A part that is very intelligent, that debates very well, and fortunately, but a good part where it's,
Exists. Me, I haven't seen it, but no.
but like it's interesting. Actually, that's what annoys me about manga communities is that thing where you can't say anything bad, you can't criticize something. As soon as you do it, it's like, as I experienced, but you read Boruto, but shut up. Like, what does it matter if I say Boruto? We're talking about One Piece, man. And you do that, and then you say, I watched this, I'm an idiot. So yeah, it was pretty intense on Twitter, and meh, it was pretty intense. Luckily, I had some holy to handle that intensity. It wasn't believable.
I was handing out L's at the same time. No, yeah.
It was fine because like I replied to a guy, when you're a creator, honestly, you're used to being dropped, you're used to being trashed, you're used to insults, you're used to dealing with losers. I think it's fair. Yeah, I think it's a shame. I think it's pretty unfortunate because there are, well, I think the two guys who argued intelligently, but the rest, it's just dumb insults. It's no arguments.
Yeah.
No arguments. I think it's pretty sad. Can we speak badly about One Piece? Well, I wouldn't say speak badly because being critical, that's it. Because we're being critical. I don't think in the podcast we ever said it's total crap, it's bad.
Crap, and that's it.
We
Argued when...
even on the points where we were stuck, we made comparisons with the beginning, why we were having more trouble and everything. In the clip that came out of the podcast, I even said, go ahead, come in the comments, talk and everything, explain your point and all that. So we were still open to debate. People are stupid, at least those who were stupid. But yeah, it's hard to say something negative about One Piece without getting backlash. And what's dumb is that, you know, if you say something negative about One Piece, you know you're going to get hit with something. I know that now, you see. Yeah, but I'm not afraid of that. I know that if I talk badly about Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball, or any other work, there will be guys who come after me.
To debate with me a bit. One Piece...
I know that. And back then, I used to do some One Piece reviews on my channel a long time ago. And I stopped because of that at the time. Because as soon as I said something a bit negative in the comments, it went all over the place. Everyone was saying, you don't understand the work. You don't understand the genius of Oda and all that. Yeah, but they're not able to explain it to you. It's just annoying.
It's true that in the podcast, I said that
It was kind of cult-like I'm in a sect about Gozi Dumal. Yeah, but that's how it is. I actually don't think it's good
I don't think it's good.
right now, and it pisses me off that I can't find a guy who's able to tell me it's true that there are flaws here, it's true that this part is not as good. There's not a single one. They're all just sucking up non-stop, and I think it's a shame because maybe not, but well, yeah.
That's it. It can't be perfect.
That's the level of the argument, actually.
I've been getting insulted for 3 or 4 days now. No, 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Does Combine want to see me so I can talk about harassment? Nobody gives a damn when it's me. It's crazy, right? But what are you insulting me for? You're having me insulted as an Israeli. Yeah, they said I was on Abelstein's list. You compared it to Epstein, yeah. They said I was ashamed of being black or something like that.
I'm like, wow. So if you want...
I could be paid by the Mossad, it wouldn't change anything. Your manga is still worthless. Do you have any argument other than that? Or the argument that kills me too? Yeah, but your
manga is
crap. Yeah, so you're not legitimate to talk. But I don't like that argument. Why? Because if I, who make manga, who am an author, who has several published books, especially on Plateau Shop, but also in bookstores, Manga Story, Arena, of course. What else did I do? Lots of other things. Company, all that. If I, who am an author...
Who has made manga then?
Is not legitimate to talk about manga. If the guy in front hasn't done any of that, he's even less legitimate. What he's saying is stupid. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm more legitimate, you know. But if we follow that logic, you've never made a manga. You've never drawn in your life. Actually, nobody cares about your opinion. You see what I mean? This part here is going to be cut. It's going to be clipped. And people will say, did you see what they said? But just this part. The 12, he's paid by Mossad and then they're going to leave it. It's going to be, if I was paid by Mossad and it's, I'm paid by Mossad.
And you are not legitimate.
We're on
the abstention list. They will take the
part where I said
abstention.
They're going to do it. Well, there you go. Well, just like that. Go on the list. It's not even Ombies that exposes it.
You know, it's exposed by the heavens. I think actually that doesn't help. Even the guys who are smart and who are really passionate, like I think, Doc, you see, yeah, but there are smart guys.
They don't really dare to say that. It's true, though, because they're afraid of getting backlash. But, well, most of them are kids anyway, I hope. I hope.
If I find out that
there's some guys who are 38, I'd be like, damn.
What a shitty life. It's like, well, it's terrible. The guy I was talking to yesterday, the one who was making video clips, I don't remember his name. I don't really care. The guy I told was clearly stupid, that guy. I don't remember where I was going. But yeah, he ended up apologizing. I was in a bad mood.
But he
kept his tweet. He ended up apologizing. He could have
deleted the tweet.
That's what I was saying.
But you can tell from the blue check mark.
With the 20 cents, that bastard. But no, that's it. For me, it's kind of like in YouTube comments. It's the guy, because for those who haven't seen the tweet, it was basically about that. And then the two big pigs eating McDonald's when they're like destroyed by fast food. But Captain, I'm
talking about, especially since given the profile, yeah, I mean,
I'm not. We got our asses kicked for something like that. And I talked to him calmly. I wasn't aggressive at the beginning of the month. Later, I got a bit pissed off, but the guy ended up like, yeah, I'm sorry. I was a bit upset and all. It's clearly the same profiles I get on YouTube, guys who sometimes insult me. When do you reply to them? They go, no, but you're right. Damn, everyone does it. But it's crazy how many people will insult you, talk bad about you, or wish you bad luck. And as soon as you reply, there's a total loss of balls. But it's incredible. They just lose their balls.
It's not about courage. They realize it's ridiculous and feel ashamed.
I think it's a bit of both.
I think it's a lack of balls.
Yeah, actually he is. Yeah, there are people behind their screens. They think they're invulnerable and invincible. And as soon as you reply to them, they're like, oh shit, he answered me. And you're like, well, and that's what I say. I just don't see the point. Well, I'm talking a lot here and all, but I just don't see the point of insulting people for no reason. Because we're used to it. But sometimes you have guys or kids, teenagers who are a bit less, let's say, prepared for getting insulted for no reason and all that. I find it very sad, very sad. It does a disservice to real One Piece fans. So yeah, yesterday we were kind of between being annoyed, having a bit of fun, and it being annoying.
I was so busy yesterday, I barely paid attention. I replied a few times with punchlines and saw it went viral internationally. Hey, the guys who reply in English, he's right about the guys shouting fire and all that, you see? Anyway, hello.
It got out of hand, huh? It really got out of hand. And so after that, there was the video, there was the analysis. I wanted it to be about Yaji's analysis, but it turned into like, yeah, I didn't see it. I put everything back in order.
All publicity is good. Even bad buzz is still buzz.
Yeah.
So I'm back on Prime again. Like I said, new Prime is coming. No, but no chef is back. There you go. Make reaction videos. By the way, people told me about that, the number of reaction videos to my One Piece reviews. I actually didn't realize. No, there are a lot.
Huh? The seller?
Apparently he's opening a shop. How do people do it? I'll do some reviews. If I had time, I'd react to the reactions of my videos. That would be incredible.
The loop is finished.
I'm going to reply to Rio Sensei. I'm going to reply to Doc. I'm going to reply to that Shibuki.guy.
Well, I think that...
Well, it would be a bit empty. You can see that it's useless.
But I don't look at your social media. I don't watch your reviews because I get your opinion on the podcast. And since we're together all day. But I think where your reviews are helpful is that you have things that are really analyzed, like Mon Corvo, Goji, or Doc. And then you come in like, your manga sucks. It's because there's a very, very, very analytical side, really deeply analyzed. And then there's a very raw side. Like, I'm really going to tell you.
But it's still analyzed. I just don't want to sugarcoat it. Clearly, there's an entertainment aspect.
And I think that's there. There's the raw side and the very professional side, let's say. And I think people like having both to recalibrate themselves. It's true that clips from your reviews were used a lot there. That's it.
It's good. It's good. Then there are some who also say, yeah, you're purposely pushing hate on One Piece to get stats. I don't need that, you know? I don't even get more of that necessarily when I rant about the chapter, actually. No, it's just that I'm honest about how I feel, that's all. When it's good, I'll say it's really good. And when I don't like it, I'll say I don't like it. Right now, to get back to the chapter a bit. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. Some people are saying, yeah, but at one point, Aizunobi or whatever, there was a flashback during the fight too. Back then, One Piece's story was much more linear than it is now.
All of that's...
So, you just followed the Straw Hats period. It wasn't confusing since there weren't 25,000 storylines at once. Now there are 25,000 storylines happening at once. Starting from Elbaf, what do we have? Brooks' mural, which Frankie found. There's the story with the library. Yeah, the mystery with the owl. Well, there was the mystery of Loki, but that was revealed. That's the only thing that has been revealed, actually, I think, since the beginning. What else do you have? I don't remember.
Rock's Good Valley, it's okay.
That's going to be resolved then. But you have other things, damn. I mean, you have a lot of... I mean, there are a lot of things. There's Zimzama, there's Brook with Gunko. There are a lot of things anyway.
They started to highlight the Shamrock side of things a bit.
Yeah, Shamrock.
The Shamrock stuff, it's been left hanging ever since. So yeah. And now, we have...
There's Dozan, who's that... Dozan, yeah. There's Zaza, there's Toto.
Anyway, no, that's what I say every chapter. And that, on the other hand, we don't put out as a clip. We're waiting for Oda to pull off a stroke of genius.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, we're not... we haven't completely changed sides and decided we're going to talk badly about it until the end. We're really waiting, and we love One Piece. We're waiting for that moment, like, damn, that bastard's good, you know? And when he really does something we like, there will be a really positive podcast, you know? Yeah, but you shouldn't think we're just haters, just spitting out our opinions and all that. We really love One Piece. It's just that right now it's losing us. But we're waiting, and we're looking forward to what Oda...
Why is it losing us? People don't get it. Just let him experience One Piece, and he'll understand. No. It's hard, and it should be. Right now, it's really not. We don't know what he wants to discuss. He keeps mentioning Himzama coming to fight, but we don't know why. He wants to discuss the Divine Knights taking the Giants, but it's unclear what he really means. We don't know where he's going with this right now. Now, all of a sudden, it feels like we're getting the start of the arc's final battle or something with Loki and that other guy. He said, no, we're taking 5 minutes. I don't know how many chapters, but it feels long. We're going to talk about Brook's flashback. And you say to yourself, well, okay, now's the time to really dig into the relationship between Ginkgo and Brook. Couldn't it have waited until later? It's weird. It's a choice, you know? Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad choice. I'm saying it's a strange choice that weighs down a story that had already been confusing for a few chapters. Yeah. It's weird.
Doc thinks it might take 6 or 7 chapters.
Yeah.
Because if I understood correctly, we started a new volume of One Piece. And so the flashback would go until the end of the volume, which is a lot. So that would make seven chapters of flashback.
All right, but they're going to have to tell some crazy stuff, you know. I hope it's going to be something that helps resolve the conflict that's about to happen right now.
Well, yeah.
If you don't have that, I don't see the point. Yeah. Plus everything else happening, like all those side plots, we haven't discussed those since Egida, right? Yeah. Shanks, Blackbeard, the Cross Guild, Morgan, it's Morgan, the bird guy. That's right, yeah. Who with damn, Vivi, I was about to say. Yeah, Vivi. Who is with Vivi?
And Wapple.
And Wapol, but that's because of how many things there are, like the side behind, Kainu and everything.
There's Garp.
Kobe, there's Gop.
Kobe, can we get a Kobe? He got caught, wasn't it, by Blackbeard too? Yes.
Yeah. Damn, I forgot about that. And that was a while ago, yeah?
There's a lot of stuff.
There's the thing with the Seraphim too. What happened with that story? Yeah. There's Kuma who's still around. We don't know what's going on with him. Yeah. He's hiding somewhere. We don't know where.
And we didn't talk about that. Yeah, it's true that even the people close to the Moody Mugiwaras, you kind of forget they're there. Like Lily and Kuma, yeah, you kind of forget they're there, and you've got one of the Vegapunks with them right now. Well, Lily, then them, yeah, that's it.
You saw Pankei there, who's supposed to fix Kuma. Yeah. We don't know where that's going or where things stand.
Some characters closely connected to the Moody Mugiwaras are easy to forget for a while, even though they're nearby.
The crew of the Giants, what happened to them too? Yeah. The crew with Dory and Broji, what happened to them? We don't know where they've been for so many chapters. That's
the thing, actually. There are so many characters in the arc and who are involved in the arc that it's hard. And there are some...
They'll tell you, yeah, but you just have to read it in volumes. Yeah, but even in volumes, well, it's more understandable in volumes, yeah. Because you don't have the frustration of waiting and all that, sure, but it's still really tough. It's crazy. Some people were telling me, yeah, just go back and read Dragon Ball. Well, I'm sorry, but Dragon Ball from that point of view is better. Currently, we're rereading the Namek arc for a video and keep remarking how it's a masterclass. There are constant twists, and the story isn't strictly linear since you follow multiple perspectives. You follow Vegeta's point of view, Goku's point of view, Frieza's point of view, and Gohan's point of view. And Krillin? Well, there are still 5 points of view, and yet they never overlap, you never get lost. There are real plot twists all the time. It stays simple, it stays fluid, and the artwork is still a masterclass. I'm sorry. One Piece, the story isn't just getting more involved, it's getting complicated. Because in one chapter, we're talking about one thing, in the next chapter, we're talking about something else. And then in the middle, you've got the old guy saying, honk honk, I'm a nice pirate. And on top of that, when it comes to the artwork, the more it goes on, the less we understand anything, right?
Yeah, it's tough, yeah.
I'm sorry, man, it pisses me off to say it, but when I go back and reread the old volumes before Ellipse, like we were talking about Skyper last time, even Marine Force, I'm like, damn, it was so well drawn. What happened? You see, and you say that where you are? A review, it's super easy to read. One Piece. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not normal that I have to reread the page 4 times. The guy watching you says that because he's observing you. My body, your Goji, and I don't know who else. Then he says, it was easy, I understood. No, you have to watch a 90-minute analysis video just to understand the chapter. That's a problem. I've never seen an analysis that long for a Dragon Ball chapter. Not even for Naruto, since it's simple and smooth, but we've lost that here. That's what Torishima mentioned recently. We didn't talk about it on the podcast because the info was a bit old, but he said, well, the problem with One Piece today is that it's no longer being read by 8-year-old kids. Honestly, it's true, you don't understand? You really have to try hard. Shingeki no Kyojin was much less childish than One Piece. And yet, you never needed some crazy analysis like this to understand what was going on. The story was more or less linear anyway, we could understand, yeah. Some things were complicated and complex, but never confusing. You always understood. It was clear.
Even the last chapter doesn't help because it adds 3 new characters. Well, it's in flashbacks, sure. You see, it's a flashback. You're still in the present, but it still adds more characters. I don't know how many One Piece characters there are, but it must be around 1,000.
Already in Dragon Ball, there are nearly 1,000. Yeah. There are 2 or 3 times more volumes here. Just forget it.
But for chapter 1183, I took some quick notes. So it was Mo explaining that he couldn't subdue Luffy and Loki, and so he wanted, well, to kill them because he didn't want to subdue them. Like he did with Dozan, so the famous guy. We don't really know who Dozan is, thanks, but anyway, he's a guy he couldn't subdue back then, so what? So he had to kill him.
They call him an old Viking, but Dozan isn't a Viking name.
Yeah, well, yeah, you saw in your video, it looks very Japanese. To me, it seems Japanese. Very well known already. It feels very samurai, I think. Then so we get into the flashback there again, yeah, there once again, bam.
It's also a guy who's 70 or even 80 years old.
Around 80 years old, yeah.
Something like that. Even if he's been a skeleton for a long time, there are things to tell about his life. So it's interesting, which is why I put the...
Well, that's it, interesting. Still, there were many ways to do it. That's actually what we say in every podcast. That's what you said in the review. It's like since from Pistrelure boat, at no point on the boat could he have done it. I've already told you about Sparagmas. It sounds insane. And for sure, given what's about to happen, there are going to be some big revelations. And, well, it's also important from a historical point of view. Why didn't they discuss this earlier? His captain never mentioned Espa or Spanish. That's why I'm like, well, we knew he was a god or a king.
From an ancient kingdom, a king. We knew that.
Okay, but damn, 10 more years and I still have this time thing. But nobody talks on the boat, like you said, huh? Nobody talks on the boat, damn.
And even the flashback, it's a bit weird. It's still the same thing. There's a really hot girl and everyone wants to get with her. Yeah, it's exactly the same as before. No.
Because she's dressed?
Yes.
This one is dressed.
That's the only difference. But what is this? This craziness, it's Charot, a Charo, and a Muslim woman. What is this? Yeah, right now he's not in the story at all. But you say, why me? Every time it's like that. A very attractive girl is desired by everyone. And that's the story for now. We'll see what happens next.
Currently, it's a flashback going back 77 years. And so bro knows the princess. Well,
Who's not really into it, yeah? Who became Gungo?
that's right. She vanished in the Holy Land. Now he sees her again and wonders, what is she doing here? She should be waiting.
She should be 77 years old.
That's right. And so what's funny is that, well, there you go. So I reread the chapter before the podcast and Jinbi says to him, bro, you need to think now because this is urgent. We need to know if we kill her or if we keep her alive.
But then how are they going to kill her? She's in the ice block and really...
Phase 2 is bugging out. You need to hurry up. You have to tell us 77 years ago, it's time, but hurry up. Wait, Esperia.
The Kingdom of the Night.
It was night. It was very hot. I remember he was eating a little one. He takes his time, but you said to hurry up physically. But yeah, so we're talking about that. So yeah, we had seen the Queen of Spain, so who is Candel, and the King, so Louvain. And we have Merlin's gang who wants to catch the Queen, actually. That's it. For the gang leader, that's pretty much it. And then there's Brock's technique. He slices people up at the port in the morning and then uses that same technique again later that day. So there you go.
And then he never did that in One Piece. Here, there are the 3 blocks, 3 dead blocks. Yeah, well...
That's it. But here...
It's not 3 blocks, it's 3,000 steps, blocks.
He does 3 in seconds. From what we understand, he cut them at the port hours earlier and only left the clinic afterward. What? Kulong as a technique, but we're going to ask that he didn't do it. You're going to take some crazy stuff like Brokeback Mountain.
He forced a samurai and everything. Yeah, but you did it one morning, you messed with me.
But I think he's my brother.
Well, it's weird, because if there's something like that, and he couldn't beat the samurai from Thriller Bark, right? Yeah. If his shadow was stolen, and he didn't have to beat the thing, and he got it back, you see? Yeah. I'm just saying. It's weird. Anyway, we'll see where this goes, but it just adds another layer, Some say everything will be revealed in the end. It better be, right?
Well, yeah.
Since so much needs to be wrapped up in one ending, huh?
Yeah, that's what I hope for, right? Here's what I'll tell the guys on Twitter. It's what I always say on every podcast and keep repeating to myself. When you talk to me about divinity or God, you're really talking about Zaza. If you mention the god of the earth or any other god, you're talking about many gods. And when we go back to a Navy admiral like a Kainu or a swordsman like Yoku, well, I'll have a thing about it. Because, well, it's a shonen, so normally in shonen, the power-ups, well, it's a steady crescendo. And now, when you talk to me about gods and they've been talking about divinity for several years, and then what are you going to do? They already told you about the admirals. You see what I mean about admirals? It lost some flavor. I was like, yeah, but we should have done things in order,
It's true that, for example, when you mention FIA and Kainu, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's like if you gave me a Goku versus Frieza, but with Frieza from Namek against Goku from the Cell Saga.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's like if now you want the next arc of DBS to be against Giyu.
He's a little guy. I don't want to say he's weaker, but that's the feeling we get. That's it. So you want to see the rematch, but you think it's going to be... it's like the Roblucci versus Luffy rematch, You think, well, obviously Roblucci is going to get beaten up, Well, he gets beaten up. I mean, he gets beaten up. He gets dominated anyway. He doesn't give up because he's Pipe. But, well, that's it.
Here, it seems like we're just talking about fighting.
But it's...
in the shonen structure, To make it clear, it's the manga's very structure that's weird. It looks like it's disjointed, like it's done in a disorderly way.
I hope it's going to come together. That all of this will come together soon. But it's starting to get complicated, That's what we hope for. The thing is, we were on 2 or 3 chapters thinking, well, it's weird, but it's going somewhere. And then actually, we're going to take a break. We're going to check out something else now. And we'll be back right after.
Well, yeah.
Except that by the time we come back, I'll be here. Well,
where were we? That's what we say in several podcasts. Even if it means editing out parts where we repeatedly say positive things, it'd be cool if he closed all the doors at once and we reacted, wow, that's awesome. We hope so. It feels complicated, and the worst part is we've spent 3 weeks just talking about One Piece. And every time we say to ourselves, now it's getting tough. And they add a flashback, they add characters, they add things, so all of that.
All the elements we've mentioned, the Sun still doesn't know about them.
Yeah.
That's true. The Straw Hats aren't really involved, you see. Bruce does a flashback, but for the rest, it's not their concern. They're just present.
Brook is telling the story here, even though Luffy the Sun isn't present.
And there you go. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. That's it. Well, Robin isn't there either. Yeah.
It's still the same situation where the Sun isn't present for important events. You've mentioned it often, but it's true that only certain people are there.
Go into the thick of it are Zoro and Sanji. Yeah, Sanji, who takes a long time to get to the bitch, the chick who makes it rain.
Zaza. Yeah, you do. But yeah, it's complicated. There you go.
It's all complicated. But well, we keep following them anyway. Let's go, let's go. Well, let's hope things get back on track quickly. After the series, I was a bit harsh last week, but now I'm out of breath. It's been a crappy week. I get to a little chapter of One Piece. I do like Dozen. I say, screw it. I don't know. Then I keep going. 70 years ago, I'm like, oh. He's been eating frozen roast for 40,000 years now. The Sun did something. Damn.
Yeah, because even why he can't subdue basically Loki and the Sun, we don't find the answer.
Yeah, and he can't go, and Him-sama isn't that strong, you know? Because honestly, you feel like he's struggling against Loki.
What, about 50, yeah.
He might do his transformation, something stupid like that, huh? It's strange, because now the Sun will appear, and you'll say, yeah, you know what I mean. Taking the Namek example, when Frieza is fighting Piccolo, Piccolo has the upper hand. Something happens, transformation, he destroys Piccolo, then there's Vegeta. Vegeta, he holds on, not even, actually, he doesn't hold on at all, he gets wrecked right away. And then there's Goku. Goku shows up, you see. Here, the guy before, let's say Vegeta, just has a regular fight, you know. For now, right? Then there are still some forms of, well, it's true that there are some looks that we haven't seen.
It's really 50-50 when it comes to the fight. So logically, if the fight comes into play...
Well, actually, for now, the only one who's been injured is Misa, you know. We saw him spit blood when we saw him get smashed against that tree, that Loki guy.
Yeah.
You see, it's unusual.
We'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
We'll see, huh? But honestly, I'm not saying it's getting bad, it's just getting annoying. It's not enjoyable to read anymore.
No?
No, in that case it gets lame, but you still want to see what happens next. Still you think, damn, it just keeps piling on and it comes out like a knife. Really annoying. Anyway, do we have anything else to add? Well, stop insulting us. Yeah, well, for me, it gives me publicity. I don't care.
That's not good.
But yeah, of course it's wrong. I'm going to cry on camera. Ah, you're mean. I'm doing my interview on Konbini. No, just kidding. I'm joking. On Brute. I'm being harassed.
In my messages.
No, and also be smart on social media.
Social media is complicated, especially Twitter. It's a bubble, you know. Twitter is a bubble, so it shocks me. Because when you look at the comments on the videos, people agree, you know, yes, well, they agree. They're not as harsh as on that Devil's Network, you know. But, well, you could also just stop going on Twitter. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're kind of funny sometimes, though. They annoy me. I think people are really stupid, but they also make me laugh a bit.
I saw a director, can't recall his name, but he made that strange 3D movie. He said, I like Twitter even though it's crap because it's like a vision of hell. You want to see what it's like. Well, that's kind of it. You still go there anyway.
But I think I've developed an addiction to Twitter. I find it so weird, yeah.
I only go there for work stuff, you know. Otherwise...
Yeah, it makes sense. That's Twitter. Only people who know about it can see it, but Twitter is kind of sketchy. You know, over there's a weird vibe, but you love it. There's something about it, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
You'll probably let us know what you thought about it in the comments. And for us, it's time to move on to the next topic. Yes,